Edoardo, this is your 22nd home open. Do you still get the same excitement when you tee it up?
I think it's always exciting to play your home open, your national open. It's something we all look forward to. And I think this week will be no different. It doesn't matter whether it's your first one or 22nd. It's still exciting. I'm still looking forward to play and hopefully play well.
And it's always nice to play in front of home crowds as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the Italian supporters are always very vocal. They try and really push you to play better. And it's always great fun. It's always exciting. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to it.
Obviously a special venue with the Ryder Cup coming up here in a year's time, but just give us a sense of the challenges that this course has.
It's a big golf course. There's some very strong par fours, especially around the turn and on the finishing stretch. I think it's going to be a great course for spectators. I mean, it's been built with the Ryder Cup in mind, so there's a lot of viewing areas, and it's going to be very exciting. The finishing stretch is very good as well. There's some tough par fours. There's a reachable par four with water. 18 is a par 5 over water as well. So I think it's going to be very exciting.
Now, obviously, you're coming to this week with maybe two hats on, one for yourself and one for the Ryder Cup. Have you spoken to Luke about what you potentially want to get out of this week?
Yeah, we had some discussions yesterday. Obviously, I'm very keen on data and stats, so there are a few things that we tried to change from last year and see how the players react to it, and what kind of players tend to play well on off certain tees in certain conditions. And then we're just gonna make our mind up after this week and decide exactly what setup we want for next year and go from there.
So in that case, how important is player performance this week as you look ahead to next year?
I think it's important. I think anyone playing well this week will obviously be seen under a different light when in a year time. Obviously, it's still a very long way to go. Everyone will have to play very well to make the team or get a pick. But as I said, I think playing well this week would be no harm to anyone. It would be actually quite good.
And with that in mind, is that part of the reasoning why you went to 6 picks for next year's Ryder Cup?
Yeah, there were a number of reasons. Obviously, with more picks, you have more flexibility. You can pick informed players, you can pick rookies, you can pick experienced players, depending who's already qualified for the team. I think obviously on paper we're slightly underdogs against the Americans. They seem to have slightly more strength in depth than we have, and I think having 6 picks you can go a long way to deleting that deficit.
And just find obviously the likes of Fitzpatrick, McIlroy here this week as well. How important it is for them to get a sense of what this course is going to be like ahead of next year?
I think it's very important, at least to have a good first look. I mean, as I said, we're going to make a few little changes, but the bulk of the course will be the same. And even just for us to get their opinion on how the course is playing, what they would like to see, what they like to see on a golf course, where how they play better in certain conditions or others. I think it's just a benefit for everyone, and obviously it's much appreciated that those guys were able to come here and play this event ahead of the Ryder Cup. It's hats off to them.
Fingers crossed for your own game this week.
Thank you.
Edoardo, your 22nd home open this week. Do you still get the same excitement when you tee it up in your home country?
È sempre bello giocare l'Open d'Italia, credo che sia sempre eccitante, è una settimana particolare e sono molto contento di come sto giocando, di essere qui questa settimana e spero di poter fare un buon risultato come l'anno scorso.
A fantastic field this week as well. How important is it to have a good field on this golf course?
Credo che sia molto bello che siamo venuti a giocare giocatori come Rory, Fitzpatrick, Hovland, Hutton. Sono veramente tanti quest'anno, credo che sia bello, sia onorevole da parte loro essere venuti qua a vedere il campo della Ryder. Credo che sarà molto utile anche sia per loro ma anche per noi, per capire cosa ne pensano del campo, che tipo di cambiamenti si aspettano per l'anno prossimo, e credo che sarà una cosa molto utile per tutta la squadra di Ryder.
There's no doubt you're coming to this week with one eye on next year. How important is it this week to get some vital information as you look to make changes?
Credo che sia molto importante questa settimana, perché dopo finita la settimana analizzeremo tutto quello che è successo insieme a Luke, insieme a Thomas, e sapremo meglio cosa ci sarà da cambiare, sapremo meglio che tipo di giocatori tendono a giocare bene su questo campo e sarà molto utile quando poi dovremo fare la squadra tra un anno.